Hi and welcome to AFTV. You've tuned into a brand new show called Full Time, where we look back at Arsenal's previous game, get a few stats, get a bit of banter, and I have the big hitters with me today. We've got James and Robbie. Come on.
Big hitters.
Big hitters,
like
big
that.
hitters. Do you know what? And do you know what else, guys? We're back in the studio.
It's good to be back, man.
There's no more sitting in my pants, Arsenal top on.
Oh, is that how you're doing it?
That's how I'm
Here we go. It's all
Too
revealed now.
much information, bro.
I'm a little worried about that. I'm there on stream with him.
That was me, though. Just chilling, little Arsenal top pants. Felt free, man. Felt free. But anyway, right. Let's look back. And obviously, we played Leicester yesterday. This image is a great one, James. Good choice. Look at Tielemans.
Yeah, Tielemans sums up.
Done.
Yeah.
It's finished. He's like, nah, forget this. I've had enough. But yeah, where should we start? We start at the starting 11.
I think we should.
Yeah,
That
we have a
created
little
quite a
look
bit
back.
of discussion, didn't it?
It created a stir, that did.
Yeah, it did. Well, I brought up here, I've done it a bit differently to normal. You'll see it up on your screen now. I put in blue the players who came in. 6 changes was obviously the big talking point around this game. And, you know, it's fair to say on the watch along, there's a bit of, you know.
Yeah,
You know what? I was one of the chief instigators, I have to admit, right? When I saw 6 changes, to be fair, a lot of the other guys were like, yeah, I think we should make a lot of changes, right? I was against it. I was like, no. We got that big win the other night against Benfica. We got a whole week until Arsenal play again, right? We're going to be playing against Burnley at the weekend. Let's just go strong, man, and get that win. Let's go. You know, 'cause I wanted changes before, but then the more I was thinking about it, I was going, no, man, I want Saka to play. I want the big hitters to play because we're playing Leicester. Leicester are like, you know, they're flying high, man. They've been slapping all the big teams as well, right? So I wanted us to go strong. So when I saw the team come out, and I didn't have a problem with Mari coming in because I think even when I've done my starting 11, I was like, Mari would be good. I didn't mind Cedric because I think he should be playing anyway, but I had a problem with El Neni coming in.
Yeah.
I even said at the start of the show that to me, the new version of the Sidemen wasn't KSI, Mini Minter, and Basinga.
Oh, you know about them,
right?
yeah?
Yeah, I was saying the new version of the Sidemen were El Neni, Xhaka, and Willian, because all they're going to be doing like that side, right? So I was against El Neni. I think everybody in the room was against Willian. Obviously not against Pepe.
Yeah.
Weren't really too. The Lacazette Pepe thing weren't bad, but the El Neni Willian, I was like, no, man, that's negative.
I think he was right to worry.
He was wrong.
Yeah, I think he was right to worry, Robbie, only because obviously last time Arteta rotated, we in the cup, it was terrible. He rotated 7 players and it was the wrong decision. So, but James,
I think
what's
the
your thoughts
difference
on it?
is with that game, he brought in too many out of form players at once. And the thing with this is you had, obviously, Cedric's come in, but he's playing at right back where he's comfortable. Pepe, okay, he's not played as much as we'd like the last couple of games, but he's come in and when he has played, he's done very well. Lacazette's actually been on good form. It's just Aubameyang's been scoring. So it was, as you said, only really Willian El Neni that we were worried about. I'm with you on Mari. I like Mari a lot. I think he's going to give Gabriel
I thought Mari coming in was a good move, right? But as I said, it was the El Neni and Willian one in particular. I mean, the bench was super strong. I mean, look at that bench, man. Bellerin, Holding, Ceballos, Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Aubameyang. I was even commenting saying the bench is better than the starting 11. Right, so it was a great bench, right? But you know what? Give it up to Arteta, yeah? And I'm not one of these fans that like try to hide when you get it wrong, right? I got it completely wrong yesterday. The manager got it 100% right. Because you know what? If you look at it, you had one team in Leicester that looked very flat in that game. They made hardly any changes to the game that they played during the week. Because remember, they had that Europa League game, right? Yeah. They looked flat. Vardy was even playing, right? Whereas Arsenal were up for it right from the start. And it's those players that he brought in. Mari, right? I mean, that recovery run when he made that time with Vardy, that was unbelievable.
Showed his experience, didn't he?
Cedric had a great game. El Neni was just steady, but he didn't have a bad game, but he was steady. Willian, wow.
Yeah.
That's his best game, I think, for Arsenal.
I agree.
I think so
Maybe
too.
that or the Fulham game that he played. And Pepe, I think that could be one of his best Premier League games for Arsenal as well. And Lacazette looked sharp as well. So all those players who came in looked sharp, looked at it, looked like they had something to prove. So Mikel Arteta got it spot on. You can't I'm not with these people sometimes who then turn around and say, it was lucky.
There was a lot of that.
These are big decisions that if it goes wrong, everybody turns around and says, yo, you're playing Leicester. How are you making so many changes? Are you mad? So give it up to him, he got it right.
Yeah,
completely
he was. I'd have liked to have seen the reaction when the first goal went in, considering how you were thinking. Because obviously, if you weren't happy with the changes and the goal went in so quickly. I remember coming up here just to check you guys up from the watch along. I said, Lee was like, we started fast, that's a positive. Literally 2 minutes later, I hear bang, bang, bang on the ceiling.
It's true. It's true. You felt you were in for another one of those days, a bit like Villa. You know, the funny thing was, I thought those first 6 minutes we started all right as well.
We did.
I think we started quite well.
Yeah. It's a great start. Positive, then. Yeah. Man, I was just thinking, Man City again, Villa again.
Yeah.
I mean, all these early goals, man. But, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, we should might as well take a look at it.
Let's have a look at that goal, because there was a lot of debate about whose fault was it. The obvious person to look at first is Xhaka. He's lost the ball. We're going to play through it sort of frame by frame in a sec. He loses the ball, but then the eyes were on Mari and Elneny, who's dealing with, there's a mistake in there, because Tielemans should never run that far without being challenged. Yeah. If we go through it now, we've got Xhaka out here to the left, and you can see Willian, in fairness, comes short to try and get the ball, but Tielemans and Iheanacho do very well to close them down. Let's credit Leicester, they forced the mistake.
Yep.
Xhaka's poor. I said this thing about Xhaka yesterday downstairs, where if you notice, he plants his foot and he decides he's going to pass it, and actually once he's made the decision, he'll pass it. He can't change, he can't almost carry it, and so he kind of gets a bit caught there. But in fairness, I thought he did really, really well yesterday. He passed the ball to Willian, Tielemans gets in front, and he's off. Now, at this point is where I want to stop it. I think Mari here, if you notice, I've not even mentioned that Tierney, as you see right at the bottom right of the screen there, he's up the pitch. He's trying to, be the offensive, trying to get him beyond, hold the width.
Yep.
Fine. Xhaka's coming to that space. That's okay. I don't really blame Tierney here. But Mari at this point has got all that space to defend by himself. And he's looking over his shoulder, and Vardy is charging for that penalty area. And I think that's where it gets really awkward for him. Tielemans coming all the way, and Mari drops and drops and drops, and eventually Tielemans gets his shot away. And the obvious person to look at is Mari, but I just want to take it back a second again.
Elneny.
Right. Again, Tielemans off. Now for me, I'm okay with this. You're just trying to make sure there's no obvious pass. If he squares it to Vardy, it's a very easy finish.
Yeah.
And in fairness to Tielemans, it was a very good finish. You don't normally score that many from that angle. It's a good finish.
No, it is. It's a good finish. And for Leno's ability as well, to score at that angle, it's a good finish.
Yeah, he does very well. But for me, Elneny at this point needs to be running across to stop Tielemans, because
Correct.
I'll be honest, I don't mean to be too harsh on Elneny, but he does nothing. He doesn't go and press, but he's not marking. It's not like if he goes, he's leaving someone for the cutback. So he just marks space. He doesn't go, and for me, I understand that by this point here, you're thinking, well, Luiz can go to Vardy and Mari should come across, but Mari's not going to know that. It's happening very quickly. He's worrying about what's happening in front of him. So Elneny, for me, needs to read the situation. Xhaka's not going to catch him. And then by the end of it, there's three men in Luiz, Mari and Elneny all around the penalty area marking Vardy.
You're right. Any blame on the keeper, Robbie, do you think, or not?
No, it's a great finish.
Okay.
It's a great finish. At first, I was thinking, then when I saw it back, it's the angle that does him.
Yeah.
100%. Like when the stream was going on, I said it at the time. Elneny, get across to your man. Do you know why it was such a good finish? Because Tielemans had so much time to line it up. Now somebody's got to go across, of which that person is Elneny, has got to go across and at least put him off. Yeah. At least give him a problem. You may not be able to get a tackle in, but just go up there and just make it difficult for him.
Yeah.
Right? But he didn't.
Agree.
And I always look on it and say most Premier League players of a bit top of, they're not in the Premier League for nothing. They've got ability.
Yeah, facts.
And a guy like Tielemans has got a lot of ability. And then you give a player like that much time, space to line it up.
He's going to punish you, isn't it?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
exactly.
Agreed.
Now, obviously, the score is 3-1 to us, and there was many goals throughout the game. We picked one to look at, obviously the third goal. There was many players involved, but we thought as a team it was probably one of the strongest goals from us.
It was. It's worth mentioning the other goals though, because with that first one, obviously it's the set piece that brings us back in it, and it's a bit of a training ground routine. Now, two much maligned players at the time, in Willian and Luiz, made that happen.
Yeah.
Made in Chelsea.
Oh no!
Thought I'd get that one.
That's a good one, lad. There's gonna be some fans not happy with it.
Yeah.
It was made in Chelsea.
Or in Brazil. I prefer to say made in
let's
Brazil.
let's clear.
I prefer that.
Yeah. We'll stay safe. Made in Brazil.
Made in the beautiful country of football, Brazil. Yeah.
Made in Chelsea.
Yeah. You had to get that in there. You know, it's a clever free kick.
Yes.
He doesn't put it into that dangerous area. He almost cross-cuts it back. And Luiz, he generates a lot of power in that header to running back, the neck power to hit that towards the back post.
And the accuracy as well.
Yeah, great header.
Wonderful
he deserved
goal.
that. He played really well with
brilliant,
Luiz.
brilliant goal.
Doesn't get enough credit. I don't think he does. I really
I don't
don't.
think
I'm a
David Luiz
fan.
gets
I always say, man, like, I remember saying, like, a few weeks ago, I'd give him another year. And people are like, what? I'm like, yo, listen, I'm not saying he's not the centre-back of the future of Arsenal, but you need an experienced guy in there. And he's that guy.
Yeah.
Right? We know he's going to make a mistake. That is true.
Yeah.
You know, every 5-6 games there's a mistake in him. That's why he's not as good as he should be. But I feel he's an experienced guy, and he does good things sometimes. You know what I mean? And you know, I feel he's going to be the guy hopefully that can guide Gabriel and guide, you know,
when Saliba comes back.
When he comes back, and then if you've got him, Mari, and then say Holding. That's not a bad five.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Robbie. And I think he's ruthless. He puts his neck on the line, and in that header shows it. Like I don't know what defender it was for Leicester, but he was coming in with his foot.
Yeah,
Luiz,
I think.
And Luiz is still. Listen, he's going for it.
He's always up for the fight. That's one thing. In physical battles, he's always good. So, yeah.
He's got that kind of game nastiness about him as well, which I quite like. You remember when Johnny Evans went down with a head injury and everyone's going, what's he doing? There's a little part of me that thinks Luiz was just getting a little bit, do you know what I mean? A dangerous situation, I'll just ref my head. Yeah. I'm not saying for sure, because it looked like it caught him on the nose a bit, but I like that. I think he's got that game management in him.
You need a bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The dark arts.
Yeah, the dark arts. I mentioned it once and now they won't let me forget it. But you've heard of the dark arts, right?
Dark arts, yeah. We know the dark arts of football.
Yeah.
That we don't do enough at Arsenal.
It's true.
We don't do enough. You look at even a team like City. They deploy the dark arts a lot, I'm telling you. Liverpool as well. You've got to have a bit of that, man. You've got to have a bit of that dark arts, and we're too nice.
You're right. The second goal, the penalty.
No,
was it? Okay.
100% handball. He's got. Look at the one with Smith Rowe the other day.
Yeah.
Which that was a handball as well.
Yeah.
But this one's worse. Like,
what's he
and
doing?
Dini's dropping shapes.
He's
He's got both hands up in the air like that. You know what I mean? That's not a natural position. That was stupid.
Yeah.
He got away with the first one.
Yeah.
You know, which, to be fair, I didn't think it was. At the time, I thought 100% handball, because I was going off of. I was going off of the Tielemans one. But he didn't really touch him, did he? So,
no.
But he got away with just like giving away the free kick on the edge of the box. He got away with one, but the second one, come on, man, that's
Stone cold.
Blatant handball. Blatant.
Yeah, it all comes from Willian. You know, that touch and turn, he showed a bit of pace and acceleration, and he's come. And we were all loving it, because we're thinking, this is what we want, drive.
I was like, who's this?
Yeah. We were, who was it downstairs screaming, Ronaldinho?
Ronaldinho.
We were obviously getting very excited, rightly.
Very excited downstairs at half time.
Yeah.
We were celebrating. We won the league.
No, do you know what? It was great to see Willian. And Pepe wins the penalty. You know, it's his effort that's obviously handballed, but what I love about it is,
unbelievable.
do you know what? Pepe was getting the ball and making things happen, wasn't he? We're going to talk about his third goal in a minute, but I always felt he looked like he was trying to get us back in the game. That's exactly what we spent the money for.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was superb.
He was unplayable.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was unplayable. The left back for Leicester, I think he was lucky not to get sent off.
100%.
Because the only way you could deal with Pepe was to foul him every time. You know what I mean? So, and the referee let him get away with a couple.
Yeah, at first
Then
he got away with
booked him,
two.
then they had to haul him off at half time. That's how well Pepe was playing.
Yeah,
and that's how you know you're doing well as a winger. You know when your fullback's taken off, it's a big pat on the back for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know about that. But right. So the third goal.
Let's look at it in a bit more detail.
I love this.
So there's a few facets to this which I really love. It kind of for me, it shows a lot of what Arteta's work is moving towards. Pressing, Lacazette. So let's start with Lacazette, who I think also worth mentioning had a really, really good game. I thought the way he held up the ball, it always stuck. And even if it didn't, he was at least a hassle. And that was the thing I was really interested in. His linking play, he was doing, you see why sometimes, why sometimes you need a Lacazette and not an Aubameyang. You can see that.
Where do we stand, people, with the Aubameyang and Lacazette argument here? Because I know we love Aubameyang, he's got loads of credit in the bank, we understand it fully, but does Lacazette deserve to be starting ahead of Aubameyang? I know it's a bit off topic, but there's some people here that...
To be honest, I like to see when both of them are in the team.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm a fan who just likes to see loads of goals on the pitch.
Okay.
So the more goal scorers you have on the pitch, the more chance you've got of scoring a goal. That's how I like to see when they're both playing.
But
James, thoughts?
Different strikers for different games?
Yeah, different players as well,
Yeah.
You're right, because the hold-up play that Lacazette does, Aubameyang can't do that. Aubameyang's not good at holding the ball up. And that, I'm sure you're going to touch on it now, that little bit of play that he did there, to hold the ball and spin and get it away, Aubameyang couldn't have done that.
No, absolute class.
But then in behind now, pace and everything, Lacazette can't do that. So
don't be surprised if you see Aubameyang and Odegaard playing a lot, and Smith Rowe and Lacazette playing a lot, because I think Smith Rowe complements with his runs off the ball, and Odegaard's the passer. We're going to see it with this goal now. I really wish there was a better way we could show that bit of Lacazette skill holding up the ball, because it's class. But we're going to play it through, because what I love here is he's basically got around three men. We can show that. Ndidi, Evans, Bryson, all around him. And he's managed to, through skill, through strength, perseverance, he gets round. And it kind of just falls to Lacazette. To Xhaka, takes a few touches and he sets on his way to Pepe. That drive from Xhaka, he notices there's a loose ball, he comes straight in, wins it, couple touches, out to Pepe, and then at this point, you've got a 6-on-4, a 3-on-3, whatever you want to call it, we're outnumbering them. The other run that's brilliant here is Cedric, because Cedric is in an underlap position, almost an inverted wing-back role when the move starts, and he notices that Pepe's coming inside, he overlaps him. And what that does is it takes Ricardo Pereira's attention. As you see here, I've sort of designed it as best as possible. And Soyuncu is dragged to Pepe. When he does that, Pepe notices that there's a space for Odegaard, rolls it into him. Nice little quick touch to Willian. That was classy. And he pulls it back for Pepe. But just to play it through just a little bit quicker all in one, Xhaka does really, really well to get on that ball. And Pepe's away. And this is, credit to Pepe, because the easy thing is to play it to Cedric for the overlap and cut it across. But he notices that Odegaard's picked up a really nice space there, and Pepe finishes the move. And Odegaard,
was an Arsenal goal.
It was an Arsenal, and Odegaard's doing what a 10 does.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted.
Quick,
someone who,
moving it.
That very position, edge of the area, central, get it, flick it on, keep the move going.
Do you know what, right? Something what you just raised in there. That partnership there, Cedric.
Yeah.
That worked better, innit? Cedric, the overlapping.
Yeah.
With Pepe. Bellerin sometimes, would Bellerin have gone on the outside there? Bellerin always seems to be on the inside. Whereas Cedric, you were saying that he was on the inside, but then he had the wherewithal to go on the outside. And that does, that you drag away, even if just a split second, you're giving a defender something more to think about.
That breeds a lot of questions. Like when Bellerin's in the squad, the person in front of him, they tend to not be very much involved in the game, or they have in my opinion, what I've seen, not a positive game. So is that due to, when Cedric's in the squad that we play better, or is it that?
He's more of a natural right back, Cedric, who gets out wide and can whip balls in, but can also come the inverted as well. Whereas Bellerin's always on the inside. So Cedric brings more out of Pepe.
He does.
I think
Definitely.
So. He does.
I think Cedric has there were times yesterday where Leicester squeezed us into positions, a bit like with the goal we conceded, and I thought Cedric and Pepe got out of it really well. You know why? Because Cedric, I think, is more comfortable on the ball. So there were times where he was pressed, he dropped a shoulder, turned around, and played a nice ball down the line, or played it to feet, gave it a go and went. I think Cedric's more secure on the ball. Maybe you could raise some questions about his first touch. He got into some good forward positions and he wasn't quite there. Fair enough. But on the whole, I think he's more secure with the ball, and he knows, I'm not going to force this pass if it's not on. And so what does that mean? It means Pepe gets better passes. It means Pepe can give better passes back. There's a better flow. So yeah, I want to see Cedric keeping his position for sure.
The point that I wanted to make was, did Pepe play better on the right because Bellerin wasn't the right back?
Yeah. So obviously Cedric had a good game, right? that was, in my opinion, he played really well, right? But who, as a group of us, we're going to decide who was your man of the match. Now, I spoke with fans, and everyone was screaming Willian. I couldn't believe it. Willian, he's like the next Ronaldinho. He's been amazing. He's amazing. Obviously, we've got to give a shout out to Pepe as well. There was people saying Pepe, but the consensus was Willian. Listen, check out what some of the fans had to say about Willian.
Give him credit today because his overall game was superb. His energy, his drive, just everything about his game was, a Willian that I normally see in a Chelsea shirt.
First of all, shout out to David Luiz.
Yeah.
Shout out to Willian. I put the W back in his name, bro.
Willian, there's no Lilian. You call him Lilian.
He's got his name back.
Willian.
I thought Willian was brilliant today. And it's not like you want him not to play bad, is it? You want him to do well. We all want him to do well because if he does well, it's good for the team. If he plays like that, no problem. He played really, really well today. Pleased for him.
So, man, a lot of positive feedback there. But funny that those same people were cussing him a few weeks ago. Now, if we could just cast our mind back, I'd love to have some fade-out music here. It's just floating away. Let's cast our mind back to when Willian wasn't doing so well and their thoughts on his performances.
Willian, what did I say to you in the stream? Be better off with Willian. Do you know what I mean? From the Black Eyed Peas. Absolute crap. Send him back to Chelsea. Please tell me you got a receipt.
He brings on fucking Willian, bro. I don't understand. It's like bringing on an extra fucking defender for Aston Villa. I don't get that. You've got someone like Martinelli who will run down the channel, will create at least, ask some questions. And you bring on this guy, and I know the defeat doesn't stand on Willian, but we've seen this season, the guy's not productive. He's in fact the opposite. He's counterproductive.
And the decision to bring on Willian, Mikel Arteta needs to come out and explain that because I want to know all the justifications of why Willian is coming on in front of players like Martinelli and Ceballos in particular. I'll tell you what, I'd put anybody on in place of him. He has not performed since the first game of the season. So why on earth is he playing in that? Why on earth has he brought him in that game?
What a difference, eh?
We're so shameless as a fan base, aren't we?
We're reactionary.
Hey, you know what, though, right? I ain't gonna cuss none of those guys because I've been the same. I've been the same.
Okay.
You've been the same.
All right.
Don't you try
No,
and carry
I don't do that.
And so have you. Right, listen, even before the game started, listen, the other night when he came on, right, when we were losing to Benfica and they brought him on, I was like, nah, Arteta's looking to get sacked, man.
Cecil turned the TV off.
You stormed off.
He stormed off. TV off. We went, we're done. It's over.
And then yesterday now, when he's starting now, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? He did all right the other night, bro. But starting, are you sure? But I have to say, and this is why I say, I give Arteta so much credit. These were big decisions that he made, and Willian was brilliant. For me, it's between him and Pepe. For man in the match, because I thought Pepe was he was unplayable at times. But because of Pepe has been picking it up over the last, very unlucky not even to be in the team. But I'm going to give it to Willian because this guy was like, trust me, the majority of Arsenal fans, and we can't just pick out those three there, right? Every one of us, literally, would have said, we don't want him to start. We all wanted Martinelli. If it weren't thing, we wanted Martinelli to play on that left-hand side. We did not want to see Willian in there. And he came in and he was brilliant. He reminded me, his performance was similar to that first game against Fulham. That's the last time I see him making them runs. Everything he did yesterday was positive. The ball was always forward. He was looking, he was dynamic. Trickery. That's the Willian I used to see playing at Chelsea. Right? But now the challenge for him is, I want to see that now every week. From now to the end of the season, that's what we want to see, that type of performance. But for me, I don't know about you guys, I'm going Willian.
Yeah, it's great that we had a reminder of what Willian's capable of because it's amazing that we all, and I get it, we all forgot what we saw of him last year for
I told him
Chelsea.
Chelsea fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're coming to that.
Yeah. Don't worry, we won't let them forget
always
this. Robbie.
drop-
We
so
won't
gonna
let them
drop
forget
it.
this.
I
Yeah.
told him.
Oh man. He did. He warned us all. But look, I thought he was very, very good. I think Pepe, in terms of an overall game, maybe edges it because he was just unplayable. He was unplayable. He was fouled if he didn't get around his man. Most of the time he did. He was winning. The penalties came through him. The one that wasn't given, that was his 1-2, gets in the box. There's a lovely little ball to Smith Rowe early in the game as well. And he looked like the one who's taking the game by the scruff of the neck. But where Willian gets my man of the match is, he takes a very clever free kick that gets us back level when we needed it most. And then late in the half, when a lot of people would think, all right, we'll see it out to half time and go again, he showed the drive to get us up the pitch. I think we were defending, and it's his turn and his drive that gets us up the pitch and wins us a penalty through, obviously, the handball from Pepe's shot. But he instigated all that, and so credit to him, because I thought he was very good on the ball, knew when to pass, knew when to dribble. And I hope we see more of it, because we said it in the fan camp, didn't we? He's got the attributes. He's got all the attributes, actually. There's very little he lacks. But, consistency is one of them.
Yeah, Robbie there, you're being very humble. You're very humble. You're a very humble man, because you did say Willian's better than Ziyech. And on top of that, I was like, you don't know what, I was thinking, why did you say that? Because everyone always gets at you for it. They always have done. Even when we was playing Benfica as well and we was losing, I said, this is it. I switched off the TV. Thanks for reminding everyone. Got really angry. But Robbie was like, no, we're going to get back into it. He was so cool. I was like, you're mad, but you seem to see the future. But yeah, the Willian's better than Ziyech comment is heavily strong right now.
I saw you all over my timeline. People saying, "Man, Don Robbie was right,"
Yeah.
I was like,
if you forgot about it, take a look.
Right now, at this moment in time, if you used to say, take the age thing out of it, right? Willian's a better player than Ziyech. I told you. He's got five assists to Ziyech's 4.
Yeah.
And I watched Ziyech play yesterday, right? On the Don Robbie channel, we did a watch along. He was terrible. They took him off. He was anonymous. Now, to be fair, right? Listen, Willian, I'm not trying to be wise after the event. He has been terrible this season.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. He now has to do this. It's not about Ziyech or whatever like that. This is about Willian. I just want to see him do this for Arsenal from now till the end of the season. Those type of performances. Because and maybe, you know what, I feel that the other night, him coming on, helping to affect the game, right, that's just lifted a weight off of his shoulders. Because not just with the fans, probably even his teammates are thinking, actually, going back in the change rooms, Willian.
And that matters.
Play, bro, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
You got us back in this.
That matters.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Well done, man, you know what I mean? And that around the training ground. So he went into the game now thinking, psychologically, he's not like thinking to himself, I could try and make that forward pass, or I could make that run, but suppose I get tackled and give it away. Then boy, there's more man on my case. You know what I mean? So that
absolutely.
Let's, my thing with Arsenal now is, can we finish the season strongly?
Yes.
Because if we can finish the season strongly, we can move up the table a bit, see where it gets us, and put a real good shout in for that Europa League. That's wide open. I feel that Europa League.
Yeah, 100%.
I really do feel. You know what I mean? I know everyone's like,
there's still good teams.
Man
there.
United favourites, Tottenham. AC Milan's, teams like that. But I just feel that, that's wide open for anyone who's like on form.
Yeah,
if you're on form, you could win that.
Definitely. Well, if we keep doing performances like yesterday, then hopefully we can have a good run and a good end to the season. That's what I'm sure we all want. I'm sure you guys watching want that as well.
Last week, Cecil, last week, Thursday, we came within about 15 minutes of our season being over. And now, today, the season's alive again. And actually, when you look back, I was looking back at it, right? And I was looking back at a video I did the other day, and I was saying that these runner games in February, it was Leeds, the two-legged game against Benfica, Manchester City, and Leicester. And I was like, whoa, that's so tough. We destroyed Leeds. We lost to City, but 1-0. They're beating everyone.
Yep.
Benfica wasn't great performances, but we got the job done.
Yep.
and then we've rounded it up by beating Leicester. If we would have offered everybody that at the start of the month, they would have said,
Yeah.
that's been a great month.
Do you know what?
So let's, you know, sometimes we have to look back and say, at the overall results of that month.
Yeah.
Just the same way sometimes we'll look at that month and say, look, we lost everything, we threw it all away, you know what I mean? So now I'm going into March now, positive. And I'm saying, right, again, there's a tough run.
Yeah.
You've got the back-to-back Olympiacos and Tottenham in the middle. But if we could do something positive in those, then what?
Oh, we're. It
So,
changed
you
the
know,
whole perspective.
that's how I
changed
want
the
the
perspective,
team.
yeah.
Finish the season strongly. That's all I'm asking as a
Great
fan.
point.
To do that against Leicester without, you know, and to finish the month, as you said, so positively, without Saka, without starting Aubameyang, without starting Partey, giving those players a big rest, yeah, massive boost.
Wow, yeah. Do you know, perspective is a mad thing. It changes. You
Trust
literally
me.
just changed my mind. But listen, thank you everyone for tuning into this brand new show full time. I just want to let you guys know we're going to be doing a Man of the Month award at the end of every month. Right now, William's at the top of that list.
It's a good start, but
It's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a good start. But yes, thank you. Obviously, Don, Robbie and James, always a pleasure. Really enjoyed it today. Make sure you follow AFTV content and watch some more. Subscribe, like this video, and we'll see you again very soon. Thank you.
Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial, and you can start earning some real cash.